The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to this webinar edition. Today, we'll be presenting the new version of Our Connect 2020.1. My name is Christian Medeiros. I'm the General Manager of Objective for Latin America. Let me explain the mechanism of the presentation. During the presentation, you'll see on the corner of your screen windows, questions windows. So you can write questions during the presentation, and I'm gonna answer you at the end of the presentation, okay? And if needed, I go back to a specific slide just to show some specific questions or features. Okay, let's start. Okay, the schedule for today is I'll be introducing for the ones that don't know Objective Loon, the actual scenario of Objective Loon, the company. Also, after we'll be speaking about the timeline of the releases of Objective Loon Oil Connect. So these new features will be shown also, the new feature of Oil Connect 2020.1. Also, I'll be showing new connectors to ECM systems and other systems to explain a bit why we created those connectors. Also, I'll be showing the new version of ConnectSend, our printing over the internet feature driver, printer driver. And at the end, we'll be speaking about a summary of all the presentation. We will be answering the questions. Okay, let's start with the presentation of the company. Our offices are located around the world. Objective One was founded in 1995, and our R&D facilities are located in Canada, Australia, and in Netherlands. And also the headquarters is in Montreal, Canada. Our Latin America office based in Brazil. It covers Mexico, Central America, Caribbean, and South America. Was launched and created in 2007. Since then, I've been working in the company. We have more than 250 employees worldwide at 16 offices. And let me just put the spotlight here to in order you see what I'm presenting. We have more than 25,000 customers worldwide in more than 115 countries. Just last year, we got a new 1,500 customers. And these customers, this is statistics we also are showing here. 1,700,000,000 new documents annually created by our customers. That's all transactional documents, as you can see. We are the software with largest installed base in our industry. We are known as a provider of output management software, and also our traditional applications, VDP, variable data printing. So for a long time, since in 1995, we developed software. So our software is enterprise level, but mid-sized companies can afford to adopt our solution. Our solution has a fast implementation, and the cost is below the average. We are a global company with the offices around the world, so we provide local support and maintenance with the local language, in the local language. In the region, Latin America, we support English, Spanish, and Portuguese in the region. Is the use to put you in control of your process and documents. Our mission since the beginning of the company is to offer a software that facilitates the day-by-day workflows and document creation. So our tool until today has a base like drag and drop features, you drag and drop images, you drag and drop variable data fields. So we still have the same offer the same features in the current version. Okay, let's take a look on the All Connect release timeline. We launched the first Connect in 2015. So 5 years already, people. 5 years already since we created All Connect. So since then, we release two big versions every year. In 2015, we released the version 1.1 and the version 1.2. Until November 2017, when the three dots means that other releases in the meantime here, until the version 1.8 in November 2017. But in April 2018, in 2018, we changed the naming of the versions. We started to call the year dot first edition, first release of the year, and dot two is the second release of the year. So the big two releases every year start to be naming like this. Last year, in May, we launched 2019.1. In November, we launched 2019.2. These releases are big releases. They bring new features, new technology to the software. So for the ones that are still using, and we are launching now in June 2020, the 2020.1, of course, a bit delayed because of the COVID-19 issue, but we launched 10 releases in 5 years. So these releases, for the ones that are still using the suite product, PlanetPress suite, Press suite, they are missing the new features that we release every year. The 10 releases added many features and correct many improved a lot the performance of the software since the beginning. Okay, we are gonna see the new version, what's the new features of the version. Following the recent rebranding of our company, we are now bringing the new look to products in the Well Connect portfolio. So in this version means that all products will now be consistently branded to match our new corporate colors. So a new look, but the same technology you are used to use, or who the ones that they don't know the software, we are a very stable software, robust software. So as you can see here, the new for PlanetPress Connect, the Press Connect has similar look, Well Connect Send, the new look, and Capture on the Go, new look. For the ones that they doesn't know, it's not covered in this presentation, Capture on the Go, because we are just updating the layout, but just a bit explanation about Capture on the Go. Capture the Go is our mobile application. It's available in Android, iOS, and Windows mobile. And Windows 10 desktop as well, because Windows 10 has mobile a store, so you can run Capture on the Go application app in the Windows 10 as well. Capture on the Go is form management. It's not a closed application like a bank. Bank does bank transactions. For example, it's a closed application for specific target, retail or a target market. Here, Capture on the Go, you create in the design of the PlanetPress Connect or Press Connect, you create the template, you create the electronic form. So you are free to create any form you want to create. For example, here in my list of the forms, I have the timesheet. So when I start in let's say that I'm a research company and I'm doing research for the COVID-19 questions. So the new coronavirus questions about the people that are sick. So I'm a guy of this. I'm gonna do a survey about the health of the people. So my timesheet, I'm on the road. I'm on the streets doing the survey. So or not, or I'm working from home. But I have a timesheet form that I can start my day and end my day, or start or end every survey to give you statistics after the survey. Also, the same time, I can have here the questions, the and transactional question. That's the question. As we manage and we handle transactional documents, we have data, we manipulate the data, and this data, we can manipulate this data, and we can generate electronic transactional forms. So the questionnaire are directed to a specific people, a specific person. So it's not a generic forms. And this form, once I fill up this form and send back to workflow of PlanetPress Connect or Press Connect, with the workflow, it triggers another processes. So the mobile application connects the remote working to the company's workflow and systems. So we act in the middle of the transactional documents. It's not the only an app that manage just one feature. No, I can manage invoice. I can manage payment documents. I can manage everything with Capture on the Go. Okay. So just one small note about Capture on the Go. The new features, an overview of the new features of the new version Well Connected 2020.1. We created new connectors because we are continuing our focus on connectivity. Dockware and Microsoft 365 connectors. Actually, every company is has already moved to Microsoft 365. So the connectors to send emails using this Microsoft 365 is demanding from our customers. So now in this version we created these connectors. Also, we will see details about dynamic tables, how a new wizard to insert detail table. We will see that. Also, we created a new token to print authorization in Connect Send. So we'll take a look in the token creating for the print authorization, improving in this version. Also, we updated the internal MySQL table instance, so we'll be taking a look on this as well. Also, we are improving performance when we skip the content creation step. I'm gonna explain for the ones that never seen the software before. I'm gonna be exploring a bit more because this is a huge improvement of performance. Okay. Also, we created the runtime parameters for the data mapper. We've been showing that. And also, we are creating new input tests. I'm gonna detail each of these topics in the next slides. Okay, Dockware connector. Now it's possible to compose the variable document, transactional document using Press Connect or PlanetPress Connect and upload to Dockware automatically with all indices for searching. Or we can download from an internal repository of Dockware any document or data to be used in creation of other processes or other documents. For example, to send an email message for a specific situation, for example. All connectors, they are not installed standard with the upgrading with the 2020.1. It's available in the help.objectivelearn.com. There is a session there, and you can download the. Let me show you. I'm gonna show the screen of the. Okay, I'm gonna show the screen. Yes, here, for example, in the resource center, help.objectivelearn.com. You see the plugin session, and on the plugin session, you can download the Dockware connectors, Dockware uploads. This is the newer one. This is our legacy product connector. M-Files connector, MailJet connectors, SendGrid connectors, therefore connects. So you can download this connector from here. And in the workflow, you just need to import the connectors to the document management section. To import plugins, connectors just import plugin here that you downloaded from the help, and they will be available here. So we can download documents or data from Dockware here and start the process of creating and the content or the documents, transaction documents based on the documents or metadata captured from Dockware. Okay. On the other hand, we can upload the documents being created in workflow. We can upload the document to Dockware and also use all the index data automatically. Since we have the data, because we manipulate data to create the documents, so we have the data here. So all the red all the red fields here, you can select from data. You can select from data variable inside the application. You see here. So you can index automatically, and this index is placed automatically internally in the Dockware, and then you can use those for searching documents inside the Dockware or for using for other processes inside the document. So it's a fully integrated, both download or upload Dockware is fully integrated. Okay. Regarding you see here also in the presentation, the one Microsoft 365 connectors. So now it's possible the same way as Dockware we can do with OneDrive. So if you have documents or metadata inside the OneDrive, you can download or as input or output, that's all output a document to OneDrive. So the plugins are, additionally to Dockware, just let me show SharePoint, input and output to SharePoint as well, and upload and download from M-Files, okay? And therefore, there is a two-way connector for therefore. And additionally, this is the document management to a connector to ECM systems, Enterprise Content Management System. So when you go here, you also has a Laserfish repository output. So you can also output to Laserfish. It's another ECM. It can be used. And for the Microsoft 365, we can capture from OneDrive. We can capture files from a folder inside the OneDrive, and we can do masks. For example, I'm taking just the invoices, so or just the PDFs. I can put here star.pdf. So we'll be captured just the PDFs from this folder specific inside the 365 OneDrive input. So we can also use irregular expressions to localize one type of specific type of file inside this folder. So this is available as input, the OneDrive input properties, and in output also there is a new Microsoft 365 after composing the document here, creating the PDF, for example, creating a document using data here. you can send to OneDrive automatically. So the file name, you use the same variables that is available in the system or is available in the data location or metadata. It's variable. The folder also can be located in where to store, can be located in the metadata or in the data itself, and can be selected dynamically to output the data to there. Okay, so this is available. And the other plugin of Microsoft 365 is the email input. We can capture email. For example, the applications that we capture email in a centralized payment process. For example, there is a centralized mailbox, and every for example, payment document is sent to decentralized mailbox. We can capture the from this specific context mailbox or from several, depending on the condition here. You can set the condition for every topic or body or subject or tool. So we just connect and we capture these and we can process the attachment as well. So now it's a new plugin, the Microsoft 365 email input. Output the same way. We can send in mail using the Microsoft 365 output, so we can start directly. This enable the cloud application, right? Because 365 is a cloud application, so we are connecting instead of using the sending mail standard through an SMTP, we automatically connect to 365 and a server on the cloud and compose the document and depending on the all here is valuable. Okay, we and attach also the PDF being created here. We can attach it as in the email message. Okay, and we can use the content, the data that we are creating the document to populate all the information here in the email message. Okay, and also we can rename the attachment. We can rename it with a uh, more personalized name here in this plugin. So these are the Dockware and OneDrive and input-output tasks for Microsoft 365 connectors. Okay, let's go to the next feature. This is a overview. Additionally to DZCMs, Dockware, and File, therefore, you also saw that we have Laserfish and SharePoint connectors, okay? The email service providers, why we connect to these services providers? Why? Because since we can send directly the emails to the destinations. These massive emails, they send massive emails. They send a huge amount of. Let's say that we have to the database or the data input data of the workflow is like to send like 1 million emails. We cannot send 1 million mail at once. We have to split. We need to split. Otherwise, we will be sending 1 million emails at once. The same subject with the same the same email address being sent. What this means is it goes to the blacklist of anti-spam servers on the web. So when we are speaking about sending massive emails, a huge amount of emails, we suggest connecting to these servers because these servers take care of anti-spam best practice to send email. But connect workflow, connect engine, those the worst part. Those the part that is really the handling all the data and all the email layout. We handle inside the workflow, inside the Connect server before sending to MailJet or SendGrid. So these email service providers, they just send. They don't process the email. The email are ready to send. We handle the email to them. So in this way, we have our designer, Connect designer, to create any template that you can with email template, populate with data and rules and conditions inside the email message, variable images, and these guys sent these emails read. Okay, and Microsoft 365 tasks in workflow. Okay, now we'll be okay. Let me see. Now let's take a look in the dynamic tables in Connect. Before I'm gonna show you the improved table wizard that we creating this version of Connect 2020.1. In this version, if you take a look in this data on the left here, this is an XML data, okay? Just so you don't need to understand technically, this is just showing you that the fields of each column here, you see, this is a detail table. We call detail table. Why? Because the detail table is the table that shows its variable. It's the number of the items that I'm selling, for example, in an invoice. This is done by our Connect designer. But before showing this, I'm gonna show you the designer because some of you never seen the designer Connect designer model. So I'm gonna show you the designer. This is the designer, okay? This is the Connect designer. The Connect designer has we work with different models inside the Connect designer. This model here is the data mapper. We call data mapper, and this is the template. The template is the output itself, the creation of the document, and the data mapper is the data mining, capturing the data. In this case, we are using a PDF. So we are extracting data from a PDF. And on the right here, on the right, you see customer ID, invoice date, due date, invoice ID is the records. In this data sample, we have 11 records, okay? We continue with the same way, for example, here in the city, how to grab the city from the PDF, okay? I'm gonna just select the region here, you see, and drag and drop the city to here. That's it. And here you see the city on the there. If you go to the next, right, this is the Otávio records. If you go to the next one, Sebastian record, and it's another city here. So you see different cities depending on the and okay, this is the fixed part, and we have an intelligence of the extraction. You see here, this is the extraction I have done, but in reality, I can extract in the same step all the fields. I'm gonna just undo just to show you. This is the extraction step. This extraction step is extracting all the blue. If you go take a look here, I'm selecting. If I see the data, you see all blue here. All blue are the extracted data from this step extraction. But if you go here, if you go down, you see a dynamic table. This table can have one single item or many, like here. So in this table, how to capture this data? We have intelligence here. So the first step we go to, and the green bar here on the left, we skip the fixed part, the head of the page, and we go on the PDF on the line that starts the lines of the detail table. Okay, and after this step, we repeat to read each line. So the blue here is the reading. You see the little screw here. Use read each line, okay, and start and repeat. But the lines that are marked like this one, continue on next page. This line is not real data. This this has to be ignored. So how to ignore this non-valid non-valid lines? I include a condition. This condition is the line has a comma. You see here, comma. If there is a comma, it's a valid line. So you have the check mark here. If there is no comma here in the line, it's not valid. This way, the condition in the repeat goes through until goes through until the last line that is available to read, and the condition capture this last line. After that, we just need to take the data here and drag and drop to the data model. The data model builds a standard output from the data captured from this PDF. So here we created the data model. And here we have the detail table. The detail table is each line of the detail invoice. Each line is showing here. You see the detail table. And so this is the detail table. All of this is to explain you the detail table. This data model will be available to templates. So we separate. This is a difference between the classic product, suite product, and Connect. We separate the data from the layout. Here is the layout of the template of the output. So this is the layout. And in the same way, we drag and drop here. For example, I can add a box here, a small box, you see. I can add a box here and put another data here. We just put the position, and I will drag and drop customer ID. Red, done. If I go to preview, I have the variable data there. If I go to the second register, and you remember, here is the Sebastian, here is the Otavio, is the data that comes from the data mapper. So here we extracted the data, and here we are using the data model, a standard model. It doesn't matter if the data comes from XML, from text file, from the AFP, from PCL, from PostScript, doesn't matter. I'm gonna see always a standard structure here, and this structure is the structure to use in the document. Okay. In this case, I'm doing printed context because here it's a PDF. Represents the sheet, so the sheet is printing context. But I can add also the web and the email context. Okay. This being said, let's go back to the presentation. So now I'm gonna speak about the details of the new features, okay? So this is the original data in XML. So this is the data model that I just explained to you with the extracted data here. And this is the detail table on the output, right? The same output is shown here, the same output. So this is the output. As you can see here, if you go to the detail table, you see number in column here, description column, attributes in column, unit price in column, quantity in column, and total in column. Okay. If I go, this is the regular application of the detail table. The new application in 2020.1 not only supports the detail table, but also supports a nested table. The nested table is added in the hierarchy of the data here. So now it's possible with the new insert detail table wizard, we call dynamic table builder. You can now you see here number, description, unit price, quantity, total in column, and the detailed attributes of each of the items now is supported. You see here, it's not a column. The attribute is not a column now. It's a detail of the item here. So the product. If you so now we have number, description, unit price, quantity, and total in column. And below the column, we have variable lines. The variable lines depends on in this case, for example, for this product, I have it unit as 10 pieces, capacity of 500 milliliters, high of 180 millimeters, diameter is 105 milliliters, and the round bottom flask, the other product, the unit is not in pieces. The unit is each one individual. The capacity is 3 liters. Materials, you see, here is there are 4. Here is 3. So it's variable, and now it's supported by nested table by the new dynamic table builder. And the structure of the data model and the data mapper in 2020.1 is this one. Instead of having the attribute here, you have the subtable here, the table with the attributes of each of the detail table, okay? Detail product. So this is supported in the new version, not the previous version. This is the difference, okay? Here, the example, we just show it, improvement, and also we improve the performance. This means 10% faster in terms of performance at the end, using the new dynamic table builder. Okay. Other features of the dynamic table builder, you just need, if you want, for example, change the order. Here is number, description, attributes, and unit price, and quantity total. If I would like to move the quantity before the attribute, for example, I just need to move the line here in the dynamic table builder. So facilitate the manipulation of the columns in the output by manipulating the output. Okay. So this is new in 2020.1. Also, the new builder supports also a new technique to create running totals and format data values. This is handled by the new special data attribute here that I just showed. The data sun attribute, if you can take a look here, you see create running easy. You create, if you take a look here in the data, quantity in the attributes is put in the original HTML code. If you go down here, you see this is line as a foot in the original HTML code. So when you consider this a foot, this is dynamic. In the previous page here, you see 19, 1888.98. If you go down here, the last page is 31, 3893. You see? It's automatically built with this new attribute. This is the source view of the HTML structure. You see here? Okay? So this is new in the, you don't need to automatically, dynamically do the sum, the automatically sum the lines, okay? To facilitate the table, detail table builder. Okay. Okay. Going ahead with the presentation, now we will be speaking about Connect Send, the new Connect Send. The new Connect Send, if you don't know Connect Send, I'm gonna show you a small example of Connect Send. Connect Send is a special driver, printer driver, that we connect remote workers at the home office, for example, to centralizing printing center where we installed the workflow of Connect. In this case, we have a letter to Peter Parker, a letter in Word, any application. It's a printer driver. I'm using as a user, remote user, and I'm gonna send the printing to special driver. I don't need to have Connect installed in my machine. I just need a printer driver installed here. And this printing driver connects my PC, my laptop, to the Connect workflow remotely over the web. So I'm saying that I'm gonna print over the web with security these 2 pages of Word document. So I just need to file it print and print it to a special driver. The special driver is the Connect Send printer. The Connect Send printer, when I print, automatically it recognize the workflow remote recognize my printing job, automatically recognizing also my ID, my user. So I'm Christian Medeiros. So my login here is Medeiros C. Automatically, without the need of authenticating or logging in any system, automatically connects my remote laptop, my remote PC to a centralized location where the people are doing the printing center are doing the printing. So for actually with the coronavirus situation, people are working remotely. This is an option to connect remote printing to a centralized place in order to the centralized place does the job. Okay, you get the reference. The reference is UP ending PZ. It's a Microsoft Word automatically. This web is a Connect template. So we did create this web here with the Connect designer. So every information that you see here, we can manipulate using the Connect designer. So the boundary means that if I'm printing 100 invoices, where we cut the invoice when the number of the invoices change, of where the customer ID change, for example. So we can set, in this case, it's just a letter with 2 pages, so there is no boundary settings. The envelope, I'm choosing C5. C5 automatically capture from my letter that I did print from home office, automatically capture the name and the address of the automatically. You see the green line here. The green line means the window in the envelope. Once the envelope is closed, the window will be showing this name and address of the people that we are sending the letter. Okay. The stationery, the first page will include the logo and the address, and the other pages will include just the logo because we don't need address in the other pages. So here you see the preview, online preview. You see that the first page will be with the stationery, and the second page will be just the logo. You see here the logo with the address, and here is just the logo. Okay. And also we can add features for the printing: double side, staple, saddle stitch, advanced paper handle. You can add any information here. This is a web template for Connect. And the postage: first class, second class, next day, regular mail, or you see, you can you can choose here, add any information, and the cost center also as well. Once you approve this job, you see, remember the UP and ending PZ, UP and BZ. The people that are manipulating the printers in the print center, they simple show, receive the dashboard, monitor dashboard, also created by Connect, the dashboard. You see here, approve it and printing. So the people there in the print center can just select the print job and can do a preview of the job that before submitting to the printers. So doing the preview, you see the letter of to Peter Parker, the 2 pages from the Word, printed from the Word. You see Peter Parker letter. If you take a look in the logo, the letter, here is a special number for control of the print center. The print center. Here's the second page. So it's ready to print. The printer is ready there, and the printer operator can just print. And once printed, if we update the page, you'll see it's printing green. So the status change. So this all done remotely. So Connect Send is this special driver, is the solution with this special driver. And now we did create a token. Why? Because as I did here, you see, as I did here, the print driver, when I install the print driver, I say where to send, which web location to send. If I go to the next slide, just to show you the Connect Send print drive setup, you see URL for print job submission. So here is the server where the Connect will be receiving the print job over the web. You see that supports digital certificate, supports HTTPS security printing, secure printing. Okay, so I'm showing this because we can, for example, install in any computer and send to the print location. So if I have the setup, I can send. Okay, I can, for example, and automatically connect the workflow, starts to process the document. But if it's an authorized user, this will be this could be for example, condition inside the workflow. But we create the token. Why the token? Because we the OConnect Send can be set up as a domain. Everyone in Objective-Lune domain can print to that print center. So we use the token for everyone. We set up automatically in the domain, and everyone that has Objective-Lune.com email address or user in the domain of Objective-Lune can print in that workflow, Connect workflow. And that's why this is the way we API works, okay, for Connect Send. And as you can see here, the API key, it's avoids also, for example, we can send Connect Send by domain or by credits. Also, for example, for a printing center, the customers of the print center is not from the same domain. So it's the domain option of purchasing Oil Connect Send is just for enterprises, companies. But for the print centers that prints to anyone that pays for that printer, they can buy credits. So we manipulate credits in ConnectSend. So in this way, they can manipulate tokens of each customer of the print center and manipulate controls who is printing and who is authorized to printing. Not everyone is authorized to printing. Just the one that does the previous ones that has the API key. Okay. Okay. This is discovery the All Connect Send. Also, I'm here when you install Connect, you also install a MySQL database. Or during the installation, you also will be able to choose MySQL or SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server. You can install a separate instance. It will be installed as a separate instance inside um, the customer database. So if the customer has a database, they can use that database. They don't need to install the MySQL that is available during the installation process. But if there is no database, it's mandatory to install MySQL. Why? Because Connect, we use a different approach for temporary files. In previous versions, in the suite version, for example, we didn't have these tools, which is the data repository manager. It's not available. These we manipulate, for example, data inside the workflow. We don't need it because generally in the suite version we use it to create the files and store the file temporarily in a folder, and also reading another process read the file from that folder and process the folder. Now, temporarily, we can create, for example, data from different systems, two data from different systems. We can populate a table inside the repository, inside the data repository manager. We can populate data, create a table structure here to capture the data, and we can build another data joining the two data from different sources. So once this table is done, we can just process the create printed content, which is to process the template. We can just execute data mapping, or we just capture the data from this repository manager and process the create printed content, process the PDF or composition, process the email composition. This avoids the manipulation of writing or reading external files from a folder, and this saves performance, improves performance, because you don't have the time of creating the temporary that data file in a folder or reading the temporary data file in a folder. You can manipulate inside the workflow using the data repository. So this is able because we install a MySQL instance with Connect. And the Microsoft has updated MySQL and with the security concerns. So we did update in this version to the newer MySQL version available in Microsoft. So we did update in the 2020.1. We did update the MySQL table. Now let's speak one of the main features that the new version, which is the skip the content creation step. As I explained it to you before in the designer, we do the extraction in the data mapper after we do the composition in the design template design. Here in workflow, we do this by this a process like this, a process that they capture the data, execute data mapping, which is the data mining, extract the data from any source. Here we are creating the printing content using a template. Here we are creating the job. In this case here, we are doing the sort by invoice number. So we don't need, if we have to group or ungroup or sort by invoice or customer ID, we don't need to do that in the template or the data mapping. The data mapping also, it doesn't matter if it's an XML, PDF, etc. The create printed content takes the data model ready from the data mapping. And the create job creates the sort grouping, and the create output it's a separate task because this depends on the printer. If the printer has, as I said, set a stitch option, install it in that printer specific in that model, you don't need to change the data mapping. You don't need to change template. You don't need to change the sorting of the application. We just need to change the create output. The create output offers in these steps, it's doing what the PPD, for example, in a PostScript printing offers. The PPD has all the options that printer. So if the customer changed to a newer printer, for example, if the customer does advanced paper handling, what this means? For example, in every invoice, in the beginning of the invoice, capture a color sheet from a different drawer. This is advanced paper handling. So in the beginning of the invoice, but the invoice can have one page or several pages. This cannot be done by a generic staple, for example, or staple or insertion in a printing driver. No, this is advanced paper handling doing by printing language. And this printing language is created here in the create output. And this create output, you can select the blue sheet in the first page of every invoice as a cover page, and the next invoice independent if there is one sheet or several pages of the invoice, doesn't matter. The next invoice triggered by the invoice number, for example, capture the sheet color sheet from the other drawer and put in the blank sheets. We print the invoice itself. Okay, this is how it's composing the regular job in Connect. We separate because this gives flexibility to you to develop applications. Now, this being said, what we did in this newer version, if you have PostScript, PDF, PCL, or AFP files ready, you just need to, for example, do sorting by postal codes, or do sorting by invoice number, or do commining. Commining means I have application to create the collection letter, and I have the invoices being printing. Once the workflow runs the application, we capture the collection invoice of each of the invoice being. So it's not every invoice that we combine, merge the collection letter. The collection letter goes just to the ones that has some overdue invoice. So in this case, we call commining. So in job creator, we do that. And we apply OMR marks in the output creator, for example, for the inserters, or advanced paper hand, as I said. So in the output, so now in this version, we can skip the content creates because the layout is done. We don't need to do the layout. The layout is done in PDF, in PCL, in PostScript, in EFP. It's done. We just grab the data for manipulating. We do the manipulate the data, and we create barcodes in the output creation. That's it of the existing application. So I'm gonna run here in this process. I'm gonna run in debug a process. I'm gonna do this process, including create printer, the same process for the same data. I'm gonna run using the script and all doing just the data mapper, job preset and output preset. We are skipping here the print content, which is the template composition, okay? And here we are logging the time. Before going to the branch, we log the time. After the branch, we log the time and log the time again. So we will measure the time between creating the regular process, the before the version 2020.1 and after the version running the script here by passing the content creation, okay? And we will monitor, we will, in the debug, I have the select the data I've selected already. It's the same PDF that we were using in the Connect Designer example, 16 pages, okay? 16 pages of invoice, 16 invoice in PDF. So I'm gonna run this process and the output is going to this folder. You see there is no data here, there's no document here. So I'm gonna start the process, run the process. While running, it's creating here, now it's creating data mapping, it's creating the print content, the output, and now we'll create the output of the PDF. So the PDF is created here, you see? Now the other PDF is created here. It's it's the same output. You see the size is the same in the both process. If you open the document, is there. You see 16 pages of output with your OMR marks. If I go also to the other one created by the script, it's here. You see the same 16 page with the OMR marks and the page 1 of 2 created automatically by the job output. And the test results you see here, the test results. Let me show here the test result. The regular process took 7 seconds, and the script process avoiding bypassing the content creation, well, the creation of the templates 4 seconds. So you save the average in 16 pages. We are saving around 40%. We are doing 40% faster. If you go take a look in the graph here, the performance improvement, 16 pages, you see the 100% you save it like more than 40%, more than 40% savings in times in this orange here, okay? But if you go further, 800 pages, it saves more time. You see the comparison with the content creation and without content creation saves more time. So it's a performance improvement in this case. If you have the output done already, you don't need, you just need to add controls, metadata, and OMR marks. Okay, this is a new feature. Okay. Also, I'm gonna not extend much in this one because our time is tight now. Sorry for passing the time. We also created the runtime parameter for the data mapper. The runtime parameter allows you, because before the version 2020.1, we have the workflow IDs of each job. So we used variables in workflow a lot in the previous versions. Now with the runtime parameters inside the data mapper, we can use the variables inside the data mapper step. So this allows integration with third-party software. This is because the variables can be directly managed by RESTful API, for example, without needing to be a variable inside the workflow. Okay, and so this eliminates the dependence on the workflow. It opened door to other third-party automation applications. That's the main of this feature. Also, the data is easier now. Manipulate data samples, data files inside the data mapper. If we go back here briefly to the data mapper here, you see we have here on the left, we have the data. And to create a new, to see if the extracting the data is going well to another kind of data, let's drag and drop another data here, for example. You'll see, and it's another invoice in PDF, and you see it's good. And also we can manipulate the order here. That's the new feature of the 2020.1. Trigger process. Also, we have created in the new version, new input. Before, in workflow, when we had to integrate with database and read a database, we had to go to we have to start process like this one, dummy, and after that use the plugin as an action database query. And using this plugin, we can do a connection with the database, or using a query, dynamic query here, and grab the data from the database. This is before. Now in the input task, as you say, every task there is a pooling interval. You see here, pooling interval, which means that this process every 4 seconds, if there is a hot folder, we'll see if there is a new file in the hot folder every 4 seconds. Okay. Now we have created database query input as input. What does it mean? Uh, you query the database when you have some new data in that table inside the database. So this saves process, because uh, only triggers this once the table is populated. Okay, so this is new, not available in the previous versions. Database query as input. Okay. Also, we also created file count input, which is available also as input here. This allows, for example, not being manipulating the data file. For example, if the presence, just if there is a new data file, triggers this process. Is a different approach than photo capture. The photo capture monitored every 4 seconds in this case, and the file count no, will start the process only if there is some file in the folder. So this saves processor time. This saves processor time. And also the HTTP for calls in the web, Node.js and LPD input, the printer from Linux, Unix, mainframe, AS400 are available here as input task, and also is trigger based, which means that it's not polling. It ignores the polling interval. It just waits if there is some call and triggers that process. Start that process. This really avoids wasting of precious CPU cycles. Okay, the new version. Okay, the key points: connectivity, improved efficiency, security is the key points of this release. All this information that I have presented here are available in the Oil Connect 2001 new feature summary. If I go download this available online, the document, and the document contains all the features I've explaining here, what's new in Oil Connect technology, and for what each feature to what product is applied, that feature, okay, and the details of each one. It's available there, okay, the document available. Questions. Let's see if you have any question here. How is the improvement in terms of in performance improvement in terms of numbers? How percentage of performance? Well, in reality, we don't have it because there are lots of improvements in performance, but we don't have a specific number because depends on the application, depends on the data that being manipulated in the as I showed in the previously as I showed just the skip content creation process that I just showed you. You can see that the skip process can save like almost 80% of the speed time, so it can improve 80% the performance. So just that task, if you take a look at that SQL, MySQL new version improves performance, the input task not doing pulling improve performance. We don't have a specific number for the old version, but it's available. It's really concerned. We are concerned to improve performance, security, and connection to cloud services, because Microsoft 365 is a cloud service. So we are, and Dockware is also available in the cloud. M5 is also available in cloud. SharePoint is also available in cloud. So we are focusing in security, performance, and a connection with third-party applications. More and more, for example, our connector RESTful API is more flexible to accept the connection to third-party applications, okay? Web application. Okay, no more questions so far. Okay, thank you very much for your time to attending this presentation. And the presentation will be available afterwards, and we'll be sending a follow-up. Or if you don't receive a follow-up email with the recordings, just send us a sales@br.objectivelum.com, and we'll be answering you with the link for the recordings. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye.